You know, sometimes I just like to stare off into the distance and survey the lands around here, and also shoot, a cool intro. But then all of the livestock decides to come up right next to me and be absolutely annoying. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Channel 64. Yeah, I don't know why there's so much livestock up here. We need to probably round some of these guys up, especially these sheep here, and maybe make a farm out of them or something. I don't know. Anyways, what are we going to be doing today? Well, unfortunately not working on the ride yet. Progress is still going on that, but like I mentioned in the last episode, it's going to be slow going. So we're going to be taking our time with that. But this episode, though, we're going to be working on some copper farms and also a brand new shop because I have a bunch of stuff in my basement that I need to get rid of. Yeah, I've been busy with a lot of things. So first things first, I smelted up a bunch of the copper, the raw copper that we had. So I have, quite a bit smelted up here. I am also having issues with, well, first off, people leaving stuff in my base here. Let's see here. It's my birthday. Have some delicious cake. I already have. I believe this is from Martin from his birthday. And then, of course, Liv has brought us an Easter basket. Ooh, look at that. That's fancy. Sweet. Let's see what's inside. Oh, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So we got, oh, cool, Easter eggs. Some diamonds. Oh, an Easter egg of myself. I love it. I love it. It's great. Some jelly beans and some friendship cookies. Of course, redstone because, I do love me some redstone. That's awesome. Oh, and some amethyst. Sweet. So yeah, Super Smelter's been working great. Had a couple issues that I worked out. Pretty minor stuff. I think some of it may be server lag related. But I will show you in case you decided to follow those video links I posted in my description last episode and you're building this farm for yourself, or at least something similar. So really the only change I made was these rails right here on the edges. Some of these were just normal rails, and I switched them over to powered rails. For whatever reason, even though this is completely loaded when I was running it, they were stopping. The minecarts were just stopping here for no reason, even though there's enough momentum off of everything to be able to, fully make the traversal around this entire thing. But for whatever reason, it was glitching out and stopping right there. So replacing those with the powered rails seems to have fixed the issue, and I did that with each of the layers. The other thing is, for my own setup here, I was noticing that the bamboo wasn't properly aligned. It's supposed to be going against this chest here so that it's over both sets of hoppers. And it wasn't necessarily doing that all the time. So I went ahead and fixed the water stream so it's really shoving against that chest. And this side was okay. So this one, it's already kind of hitting the back wall and then slamming against the chest. So that was just fine. Still haven't figured out the issue with bamboo flying everywhere out of the farm, but I think that's fine considering, loss-wise. Well, we're having constant loss right now because everything's full. All of the furnaces are full. All of the backup storage is full, and it's just being burned off right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter that we're losing any. However, so I've been getting a lot of resources in this slime farm especially. I've already taken a few shulker boxes of slime out of here, but I've already got, several double chests full of slime, and it's just constantly coming in. The same with the creepers. The creepers, as you can see, this creeper farm is very, very efficient. And so I'm getting a constant stream of gunpowder everywhere. And honestly, I have way too much. So the normal storage, we had a few rows dedicated to gunpowder, so 4 rows. Of course, we have the sugarcane, which I should probably shut that farm off as well because we're also overflowing that. And then I gave myself quite a bit of overflow for the music disc and for extra gunpowder. And I just have so much of it. And this is after I've already gone through and kind of taken some out. because I made it in the TNT. I had to do something with it. So now I've got one other thing. So that's all these music discs. And I had planned on using these in the theme park, and I still am. But some of the server members have expressed interest in purchasing some. So I think we need to create a music shop. And along with that, I also forgot I had built another farm in between episodes. In between doing all this stuff, and this is actually a few episodes ago, but we're gonna go take a look at it right now. You're only gonna need one guess of what farm I made. Yep. Lots of horns. Probably too many horns if you ask me. And so yeah, we need to get rid of these because well, I have too many. So to give you a quick look at this farm, it's pretty easy. You just add a bunch of goats and pop in some chickens underneath in a boat. And even still, even though you block out the chickens, somehow a goat gets in there. He just really likes the chickens. Okay, this is incredibly loud. Let's get out of here. So I've been incredibly busy over here at my drowned farm area, building a couple new farms that are going to be part of our copper supply. So let's go check those out real quick. So these monstrosities are a couple of fun bits of tech. So this one right here is a copper oxidation farm by Frunocraft. I believe he's calling this camp. And essentially, the way this works is a player sits in a flying machine. There's many flying machines involved with this. So a player sits in a flying machine down here, way down here. All right, so the way this works is a player gets into this minecart on top of this flying machine, and then they continue to place blocks up against this edge. And then you have the flying machines essentially pushing this big sheet of blocks over, and there's more flying machines on each of these right angles that then change the direction of those blocks. So as they're moving through the farm, zigzagging, S-curving through here, they're going to be oxidizing more. And even though the blocks are not going to be spaced out 5 air blocks apart, which is the most ideal way to oxidize copper, it's still faster with fully oxidized copper next to it, so it kind of speeds that process along. And then by the time it weaves all the way down here to the blast area, then we have another flying machine up there that destroys it, and then it gets broken down and then goes through these water streams. So this one right here is something you may recognize from Season 9 of Hermitcraft. This is TangoTek's copper farm. I'm using the reinforced spawning mechanism of that. Also healing drown with witches, and they're throwing their harming potions. This I actually built a while ago on season 2 of Nerdcraft, and so this design is a little bit different than Tango's. Tango's required a zombie spawner down in the bottom of the ocean, and then he would ride up with those to kind of seed everything. This actually has built-in spawning platforms here that will seed it itself. So once I turn the farm on, these lights turn off, these spawn in different mobs. Zombies are lured in by these eggs. They end up going through the water streams and getting pushed all the way down here, and then end up in this mechanism here. They then take some damage, and as they're taking damage while concentrating on this poor villager over here, that causes reinforcements to spawn in these 2 chambers on both of the wings. What's kind of cool though about this is because those zombies are constantly going, other mobs get in there as well. So there's skeletons and creepers. So this right here is a mob sorting system. So essentially, this distance right here between a campfire and a chain, only a zombie can fit through. A skeleton is too tall. So the skeletons, because they're undead, they sink down and they fall into that lava. Creepers, not being undead, their heads hit this water and they float up into that lava. So it essentially takes everything else out of the system other than zombies. And then this thing just really ramps up really fast. So it's been okay. I AFK'd it for a teeny bit, and I got, you know, almost 9 stacks of copper. That was from about like 10 minutes. Just testing it out to see what kind of server lag this thing makes. It is a little on the laggy side because of all the entities, but not super bad. It kind of throttles itself. So yeah, our copper supply is going to be taken care of. Now, I don't necessarily need copper right away, but it is nice to have this. Oh, and I also made the I made the farm have a face. All right, now that we're back at the base, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've put together for our shop. It's going to be a modest shop. This is going to be going in right next to the other two that we just built a few episodes ago in Saltwater on the shoreline. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so now that we're in Saltwater, I'm going to show you where my shop is going, which is actually right here between Netherbees and Cinder's Heckish Delights. So it's going to be right here. And this one's going to be a little bit different than these other two. Not so much falling to the water and a lot more colorful. So let's hop into a time lapse and get that thing built. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to check out the new shop. So this is Make Some Noise. The name's based off of one of my favorite Dropout TV shows about music and improv. So I figured this would be appropriate. So one of the things I tried to do with this build is use as many unconventional blocks as possible. So, you know, of course, we have the bee nests in there. That's kind of different. Use of melons. I don't normally use melons to build with, but the texture is really cool, and it was a nice green color. Also, once again, playing with the lighting of these colored lights coming from the shaders. So I have kind of a nice yellow glow up to kind of a reddish orange in the middle, and then of course we go a little bit green. And towards the top, it gets a little bit more white and blue, which I think is really cool. Also, you know, just once again, unconventional materials to kind of do some shading on the walls. We have these big notes here. Of course, our giant gramophone horn sticking out of the roof, and we'll see what that's connected to in a little bit here. Around the back, not a whole lot. Just, you know, we got a ladder to access the roof and some chains holding down our giant gramophone so it doesn't tip over because it is large. Also like the look of these torch flowers in the pots here. I think they add a little bit of pops of color as well and kind of hint at some of the different layers in there because you've got, you know, the yellow, orange, the green, and a little bit of the purple that's in the middle. So it all kind of ties together. So I thought that'd be really cool. And I also like this lighting here that we have underneath the scaffolding. So it kind of adds to the whole ambiance. So when we walk inside, first thing you'll notice is a giant speaker out front. So that's pretty fun to look at. And of course, that feeds into the inside where it's attached to some of our music playing devices in here. Down on the bottom floor, we have, of course, our goat horns. So over here is going to be our vanilla goats, are non-screaming varieties, and then of course we have the screaming varieties right here. You'll notice that you know, the building is worse for wear. It's kind of sinking into the water, as are all of our buildings over here. So this one being more towards the left-hand side of the island, it is of course not sinking as much, but you know, there are the basement seems to be missing, so that's concerning. I thought this was a kind of a cool detail here. So we have the open and close sign, and because, you know, signs are double-sided now, so we have sorry we're closed on this side, and of course, yes, we're open. Well, a fun little detail that you can, you know, put in your world, in your shops. Of course, we have our jelly chilling out up on the display case with our merchandise. And then upstairs, we've got our special horns, records, and other fun stuff. So up here, of course, we have our specials. So all of our music discs are labeled, and they're all in the barrels. I'm not selling Relic because, one, it's extremely rare, and two, Peep is actually selling it. So we do have at least a few of other side and only a couple of 5, but I mean, that'll be fine. In here are some custom music discs. So these are, this is from last season. You may remember this song. I played it. It was in my intro for season 2. So, you know, fun little chiptune song that people can pick up, and we're gonna swap those out each month with some new collectible music discs. I think that'll be a fun little thing. One thing I did want to point out is some of the details. So I made band posters, some fictional band posters. So we've got one here for Omni with his album I Am the Walrus from Channel 64 Records, and then of course we have Live the Shiv, Awesome, and the Scarians with their album Scarred for Life, or maybe it's possibly like in a musical event. I think August 21st was our launch day, so that's what I put up on the thing there. Another little bit more of like a hip-hop this style banner. I thought that was really cool. These took a while to put together, and this is thanks to our immersive paintings, so we can do cool stuff like this to add even more detail to it. Down here you can see the bottom of that. Right here you can see the bottom of the gramophone horn, and this is kind of alluding to our music disc kiosk setup here. And I guess you'd imagine that the music goes out through the gramophone because it is quite loud with these music discs. Over here we have sound producing heads. So a lot of our heads that we have in game make different sounds. A lot of them I've set up to be kind of trolly. Some have actually been used on the island for different things. Of course, we have some of the, you know, goat heads, which Vanilla Tweaks has set up. This is a screaming goat, so of course, so that could be fun for pranks or something like that. You never know, or maybe you just want a goat head. Maybe you like the sound of goat heads. Who knows? I'm not one to judge. Of course, you know, we have TNT explosions. This one's my favorite. This is kind of a trolly one here. So this is a glue bomb. Yep, it's the horse dying sound. Of course it is. Because I'm strange like that. And so I put it in the game. So these are all available here for people to purchase, and we'll try to get some more, you know, swapped out. And of course, we have our test blocks that they can test those out on. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I really like how, you know, we've got the different, you know, lighting effects here. So we got a little bit of a green tint to the side over here. And, you know, I think it feels like a music shop. It feels like a record shop. I think we want to get some more of these posters. I may have to design some more up for down here. Maybe you can fit one on this wall and maybe shove another one back there. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think it came out really well for a kind of quick little shop. The design process really didn't take that long at all, so I'm very impressed with what I was able to pull up. And I think with that, I think that's it for the episode. So I appreciate you guys for checking it out, and I hope you enjoyed our build. This is really cool. So until next time, safe travels, everyone.